Now that we've seen the basics of creating methods, let's delve into the subject in a little more detail and look at some examples that use multiple parameters, and we'll get to that in just a moment. First, I want to build on that by creating some other one-parameter methods first. I'll show you how to simplify that into one method by using multiple parameters. We're going to do temperature conversions where we go from Fahrenheit to Celsius and from Celsius to Fahrenheit. So we'll start off with our first method that goes from Celsius to Fahrenheit, or that converts a Fahrenheit temperature to Celsius. So we start off with the keyword static. These will be double methods, so our return type is double. We'll call this first one F to C, and it will take a double temperature, which we'll call temp, as the parameter. The formula for converting a Fahrenheit temperature to Celsius is the Fahrenheit temperature minus 32 degrees times 5/9. Now let's write the Celsius to Fahrenheit method, C to F, same parameter, return, and then the formula for Celsius to Fahrenheit is the Celsius temperature times 9/5 plus 32 degrees. And I didn't actually need the parentheses there, but I'll leave them in because it doesn't affect anything. So with these two methods in mind, let's write a test program very quickly here. So we need a temperature variable, which we'll use to represent both Celsius and Fahrenheit temperatures. We're going to start out by testing the F to C method. So we'll have the user enter a Fahrenheit temperature first, and then we convert to double, and then read from the console, console.readline. Then we'll write console write temperature plus Fahrenheit equals, and then console.writeline F to C temp Celsius. And then right here I need to add a space so that we'll have it spaced out correctly. Argument here should be temperature, not temp, so let's fix that. And let's spell temperature correctly. There we go. Now let's run the program. We have a console read key, so let's run the program. So I know 212 Fahrenheit should be 100 Celsius. Try something right here. Take these floating points. Because it came out 0, something's telling me that we got 0 for the result there. So if we change those to floating points, there we go. So 212 Fahrenheit equals 100 Celsius. So again, I left my mistake in so that you could see how I fixed it. And again, to review what happened there, I was getting a value of 0. And that's because 5 divided by 9 as an integer division was coming out 0. So when I changed the numbers to floating point, 5.0 divided by 9.0, then it gave me a value that could then leave us with 100 for the converted temperature. So that's correct. Now let's test the other method. So here we'll just make a change. We'll change this to Celsius. And then we'll change these two values, C and F here. And then we'll change the function call from F to C to F, like so. Everything looks right. So let's run the program. Here I know that 0 Celsius freezing is 32 Fahrenheit. So 0C equals 32F. Now, one thing we could do is convert these two methods into one method by passing in a temperature and a scale to convert to. So let's write that method. We'll put it up here. Static value type double, and then convert, and then we'll type double temp char scale, and then here we'll say if scale equals F, then we'll call return C to F temp, else if scale equals C, return F to C temp, else return. Actually, here it's kind of difficult what we're going to return for a error. So we'll just arbitrarily pick a value, -1. You see what I've done? I've utilized the two functions that I've already written. Rather than rewrite the formulas in convert, I just used my F to C and C to F methods already. So let's give this one a shot. So we'll come up here, comment out our old code. Actually, we don't need to comment it all out. We'll leave these 3 lines in. And then we'll write console write line. The converted temperature is convert temperature. We're almost out of space, so let's move this down to the next line. Oh, we left out our scale. We need to add another variable for our scale, char scale. We'll just use the same variable name. We'll say enter a temperature to convert. and we'll say enter a scale to convert to, and then we'll write F or C, and then we'll say scale equals convert to char console read line, like so. And then we call convert with temperature and scale, like so. All right, let's give it a shot. We'll say 212, convert to Celsius, and the converted temperature is 100. That's good. Let's try it again. Let's try 100, convert to Fahrenheit is 212. The output's not perfect, but it's good enough for you to see that the method's working correctly. So there is an example of a method that uses more than one parameter, in this case 2, which makes the method more useful because rather than have to call separate methods for converting to Fahrenheit or converting to Celsius, we just call one method to do either one. So that about wraps up this lesson. What I'd like to do now is move to the next lesson where we discuss how to create a special type of method called a predicate method that is used to return true-false values.